Okay. All right, let's rock and roll. Thank you guys so much for being on the call tonight. I appreciate your time, and I know that it's very valuable. A lot of us work full time, have families, kids, dogs, priorities. So I appreciate the time that you're giving up. I'm super, super excited we have a lot of people on the call tonight. This is cray. But I just wanted to connect with everybody and check in and just share a little bit about what I've learned over the past week. So for many of you know, I work indirectly for Chalene Johnson, and I help her with Turbo in terms of choreography and music. So I'm lucky enough to have the opportunity to fly out to California, and we did a video together last week. So I don't get to, I talk to her on a regular basis, usually through text or phone, but I don't get to see her in person and spend time with her. And so every time I do, I'm like, tell me, like, what's the latest? What's going on? What do I need to get? What's new with coaching? How can I attract more people? And so the first thing we always talk about, honestly, is makeup, which could be a whole nother Zoom call, but I just got one product in today I have to show you. The name of the makeup artist is called Julie Hewitt. It's Hewett. This is the best flipping invention ever. It's a shimmer, and it's not like a powder. It's almost like a thick matte. And this goes like on your entire body, you guys. You put it on your eyes. You can put it on your cheeks for shimmer. You put it on your lips for like lip gloss. They put it on, in the video, they put it like on my chest to give it sparkle. And this thing is $12. It's like the best invention ever. It comes in shades. Anyways, write it down. Christmas gifts for everybody. Now I have shimmer everywhere. Anyways, so, she's really, really helpful in terms of what we do as coaches, and she's behind the scenes in Platinum Presenters. And so she's always asking me questions, and I'm asking her questions. And so for me, where I'm at in my business, one thing that I really want to work towards right now is attraction marketing. So I want to try to bring more people to me, because let's face it, business is way better when people are coming to us saying, hey, I want to buy a challenge pack, or hey, I want to be a coach, but they're not necessarily knocking on our doors right and left. So I was talking to her about that. What kind of things can I do to help draw more people to me? And she said she's always just she gives me a lot of real talk, and so I'm glad that I can pass it on to you guys. And she's like, stop trying to work this business so hard and just be yourself. That's really what it all boils down to, because we all think that we need to have like this big story or this big weight loss success story. And she's like, no, you don't need to do that. Just honestly, just be yourself and attract the people who you want to attract. So I was like, well, how do I do that? And she said, just be the transformation. And she's not just talking physically. So we had a conversation about be the transformation to the kind of person that you want to be. So here, let me pull up this slide. Hold on and see how I will share my screen with you. Here we go. Okay, so you can see my screen, right? Hold on, let me pull this up here. So you can see it on the lower left. Yes, Andrea? I know you can see it. So she said, so we had a conversation about being the transformation into a leader, into the best version of you possible. And of course, that means that we want to exercise every day. We want to make sure that we're eating clean as much as we can, drinking Shakeology. But it's so much more than that. It's about being a transition into a leader and building an opportunity that we can share with other people to make them want to do it with us. Because let's face it, 80% of the population want to leave their job. They aren't happy where they're at. They would, of course, love to work for themselves. So, but in order to do that, we kind of have to push past our fears, and we just have to start. And especially as a new coach, you don't know where to start. You don't know who to talk to. You don't know what to say. You don't know how to answer questions. You don't know how to follow up, and you certainly don't know how to invite. So a couple of good books that we reviewed that I wanted to pass to you. One is Start by John A. Cuff, in case you haven't read that yet. That's a really good one. Read that one. And then there's another really good book, and it's actually Team Dynamite's book of the month, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. So those are two really, really good books that we talked about. And she said, you have to build your tribe, and you have to trust your brand. So I said, okay, well, how do we figure out, what our brand is? That's something that has to be cultivated, because if you think about, I don't know, back in the days, or even now when you look at people who are in certain professions, it doesn't just happen overnight. So carpenters, for example, have to go through 2 years as an apprentice before they can become a carpenter. So it's this transformation process has to take place for us as coaches in order to be the kind of coach that we want to be. But we can be our own transformation just by, of course, living the 3 vital behaviors and really sticking to the basics of Beachbody. So just quick review, 3 vital behaviors: being a product of the product, personal development, and then inviting people. Those are the 3 things that we really want to be doing every single day to move our business forward. But there's a learning stage, there's an editing stage, there's a growing period, and that's something that we have to go through in order to move our business forward. So I was trying to figure out, how I could share with you guys kind of the transformation process that I've gone through, not physically, because I don't really have a huge physical transformation, but I do have a leadership transformation. And that's something maybe that you are trying to grow and you don't know where to start or how to grow. So of course, as a coach, keep it simple. The first way that we lead is just by getting people to move, right? Getting them on a program, teaching them, how to exercise, how to move, how to do something every day. But there's also getting people to move emotionally. And so we have to know that as a coach, we're going to be talking to people more about just the fitness programs. We're going to dig a little bit deeper and find out what kind of results do they want and why do they want them? Okay, let's say they want to lose weight. The majority of the population want to lose weight. Why? So you have to dig deeper with the people you're talking to figure out why they have certain goals that they do. Why do they want to lose weight? Is it because they're having a hard time keeping up with their kids? Is it because they want to be in a fitness competition? You've got to really figure out what that goal is, and then build relationships with those people to help them create that positive change. When you do that, that's going to enhance your ability as a leader, and that's going to take your leadership to the next level. And that's how you're becoming the transformation within yourself. And that a lot of times that takes some stepping outside your comfort zone to move your business forward. But the good thing is with this business, we're always in a place where we can keep growing, and we can start at point A and get to point B and share what we're experiencing in between with other people who might be in the same situation as us. So just know that what you're doing has merit, and you have the ability to help so many people, which is awesome, but you just have to start, and you have to start focusing on yourself. So you have to start developing your brand, your story, and you have to become an expert. And so this is where I had a really long conversation with Shalene when I was like, okay, so everybody asks me, all new coaches ask me, how do I set myself apart from other coaches? And we kind of brainstormed a little bit, and I've done this before with her and this is something you might want to do too, make 2 lists on a piece of paper. So on the left-hand side, list every single thing, this is your left side, list every single thing that you do as a coach, that coaches do. And then on the other side, list everything that makes you different from other Beachbody coaches. Like, I love worms, or I like to cook, or I like to read, or, whatever. Those things on that side start to become part of your brand. So brand yourself as you, not as a Beachbody coach, because being a Beachbody coach is just something that you also is a part of you. It's not what you do for a living. You're not a Beachbody coach. You're Angie Green. You're Andrea Sims. You are your own brand, and Beachbody coaching is something that's a part of that. I hope that makes sense. So she had told me, just stop trying to brand yourself as something or as a coach, and just brand yourself as you. And she's right, because when I look at my journey as a coach, the times where I've had people joining my team the most or joining my challenge groups the most is just people I'm like straight up real with. Like, this is me. I usually wear my hair in a messy bun. I don't take showers every day. I like to eat pizza. I love coffee and wine. That actually backfired on me once because I had a girl who was like, I can't believe you're drinking wine. Like, you're supposed to be a fitness coach. Well, I don't drink it all the time. Like, it's moderation. Sorry. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. And that's how you guys need to start branding yourself, because you don't want to work with somebody who you have nothing in common with and doesn't support who you are or believe in who you are. You don't want those people on your team. You want people that you want to build your tribe. Like, you want to be with people who you like, because those are people you're going to be working with a lot. And if you don't like them, it's going to be very difficult to work with, and it's going to make your job so not fun. So keep that in mind. So think about everything that encompasses you, write that down, and that's going to start to become your story. That's how you're starting to create your story. And you might not have a story yet. Maybe you're building your story right now while you're on this Zoom call and you're in this building phase of your business and you're not confident and you don't feel like you know what you're doing and you're scared. And then maybe next week you're going to sign your first coach up. And the week after that, you're going to get to Emerald. And then you're going to run a kick butt challenge group. And that's going to start to build your confidence. And that becomes your story. Before I started this business, I would never stand in line at a grocery store and like talk to the person next to me. I was always like nose down, in my phone or looking at the ground. And now I love talking to people. It's just built my confidence. And had I not gone through this journey, there is no way I would be on Periscope right now, which is a whole nother Zoom call too that we could talk about, because we talked about Periscope a lot. So I can save a few minutes at the end if you have Periscope questions. But now here's the key. And so this is the important part that we talked about. As you start to create your story, you need to connect it to Beachbody, because that's how you're going to lead into inviting people to your challenge group. So maybe, okay, you're a mom and you're a school teacher and a runner. Those are the three things that people really think of when they think of you. How can you connect that into Beachbody? I have summers off, and so I started coaching on the side to earn extra income. Or I'm so busy because I work full time and I have 3 kids, and so I could only squeeze 30 minutes of working out in every day. And I do that in the morning before the kids are up in my basement. So however you take your story, you want to somehow connect it to Beachbody. And your story might not be fitness related at all. That's why I put on the screen, work your passion. If you're not like overly passionate about Beachbody, what are you passionate about? And can you in some way link that to Beachbody to help create your story? Because you have to think about, what makes up your brand, create your story, connect it to Beachbody, and then carefully craft it. And that's going to happen over time. So think of maybe a big challenge that you are or have gone through in your life. So did you have a child who's very, very ill? Have you lost a parent? Have you been through or going through a divorce? Has Beachbody changed your life in any way, shape, or form since you started your journey? Can you somehow connect those two things? So, for example, a couple of years ago, I lost my parent, and it was a very tragic death. And I can honestly 100% say that because I'm a coach and because I have this business, helped me get through that process much better. Because at the time I was running a challenge group, I knew how to connect with people on social media. So I found the right support groups. I was still connecting with, my customers and reaching out to my team, who've become some of my closest friends, and they were there for support. I mean, I can honestly say that Beachbody has improved my life in every area. So that's something else that you can look at. And this is why it's important. As you start to meet people and you start to build relationships on social media, you build that rapport, and through conversation, people are going to open up to you and start to share their problems with you. And maybe they're going to talk to you about, I'm having problems in my marriage, or I've been through a divorce, I'm a single parent, or I have a parent who I'm caring for who's very sick right now. If you were able to connect a challenge or a problem you've had with Beachbody, can you do the same thing for them? Now, you're not going to be like, man, I'm really sorry that your kid is sick right now. Do you want to buy P90X? I mean, obviously, that's not something that you're going to do. That's not how it works. But if you have developed this relationship for them, and you may be able to offer them a solution to a challenge that they're having in their life. So create and craft your own story first, and then see if you can, in some way, start helping other people through your story to help improve their life in some way. So I hope that helps. I just think sometimes we look at this business and we make it too difficult, and Shalene said, like, stop making it so difficult. It's just about coaching yourself first and being yourself to other people. So take a step back. If you don't know where to start on personal development. We talk about that all the time. And I think a lot of the successful coaches would tell you they would not be where they were in their business without personal development. There's a million books out there. There's a whole list on the Team Dynamite Files section. We do one book of the month in the Team Dynamite newsletter. You have to invest in personal development, 10 minutes a day or 10 pages. Listen to audio in the car. I mean, if we drive in our car pretty much every day, so there's no reason why you couldn't listen to a podcast when you're driving here or there. But make sure you're finding the right personal development. So if you have a problem with confidence and you really want to boost your confidence, don't read a personal development book about like how to close a sale or something like that. Make sure it's relative to what you need in your life. That will help you so much in your business. And again, as you're coaching yourself through this process of personal development, share that on social media with other people. Because in the end, the reason why you are doing this is because you want to be the best version of you, and you know that that's going to enhance your business. So share that with other people on social media, and that might spark something in someone to reach out to you too and say, hey, I saw you're reading this book, and I have confidence issues too. What do you think of this book? They're a great conversation opener and a great way to help another person. So I said 20 minutes. I'm not going to talk too much. The rest of the stuff that I had on here was going back to building your lifers. So basically, through this whole process of trying to figure out what your story is and branding yourself and sharing it with other people, you want people to come to you. The only way they're going to see you is if you are publicly displaying some of your story out on social media. Now, not like huge 3-page blogs, but maybe one little snippet about something you read in your personal development, or something that's impacted you in your life because of Beachbody. A little bit of exposure to other people. And then through that, you need to start developing relationships, making connections, of course, leading to an invite if the opportunity is right, and then following up with them, and then just repeating that cycle over and over. So again, I think sometimes we just make it too difficult on ourselves, and I'm not saying Success Club isn't important, but we focus on Success Club and this rank, and just stop. Just take the pressure off your shoulders and just go out there and just figure out who you are first, and then just share that with other people. And I guarantee that is going to come back to you. I promise. I had so much more that I wanted to talk about tonight, and I didn't even really talk about what I thought I was going to talk about, but that typically happens on a Zoom call and with wine. So, do you guys want to unmute yourself and ask any questions about Periscope? Or do you want like a 3-minute spiel on Periscope? Hit me up. Like, what are you thinking? Because obviously that's hot right now, and Shalene's very popular on Periscope. She's like Periscope expert. Andrea, are you seeing any comments or anything?
No, not yet. I'm not, no.
How do I stop screen share? There we go. Hi. Any questions?
Angie. I listened to Christine Dwyer's podcast on Platinum Presenters today, and she
Yeah.
did one on Periscope. And so just on tips on how to get started and, how to keep it short and so on and so forth. But I suppose I don't have an account yet. I follow several people. But what would I just start with? And if I don't have any followers yet or whatever, what could I start with and what should I talk about?
Great question. Okay, so obviously you need to download Periscope first, which you would do. I don't even know how you do it, through your app store or website? Or
Yeah, I have the app already. I follow people. I haven't posted anything yet.
Okay, so once you download that and create your account and all that jazz, which is pretty easy to follow, if I can do it, anybody can do it, then you're going to start your first broadcast. So just to take a step back for those of you, if you're not familiar, Periscope is the latest social media platform. It's super, super hot right now, and it's a great way to get people to see you, new eyeballs on you. It's a live broadcast. So basically, you would download Periscope, and when you hit broadcast, anybody who's following can see you live. So it's a little scary because you can't hit pause and take notes and you're live. So with that being said, it's always recommended to keep your Periscopes short and have a carefully crafted title that you title in before you start your broadcast with 2 hashtags, because your Periscope account is linked to Twitter. So, on Twitter, you have to have less than 140 characters, I think. How many people are on Periscope? I'm looking through. Raise your hand. Oh, okay, that's good. Good. So 2 hashtags, something short and catchy. So I'm trying to think. Like I did a Periscope today about fitness myths. I think I said, fitness myths, and then a hashtag gym rat and something else. So just a couple of catchy things. And then you always want to give time for your followers to get on, because you can set your Periscope so you're notified when somebody's on there, right? So like, let's say, I start following you, I can set a notification. So every time you get on there, something pops up saying, that you're now on, and then I can get on. So that takes time for your viewers to get on, and people are always getting on and off and on and off. So if you're doing like a 10-minute Periscope, you want to every so often kind of reintroduce yourself and say what you're talking about today. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Keep it short. Stick to 3 main topics. So today I did, top 3 fitness myths that I've seen people practicing in the gym this week. First one was like wearing plastic clothing. The second one was like doing all cardio. And I don't remember the third one was spot reduction or something like that. So, and then recap it at the end, because you really only have like 30 seconds to attract someone's attention or they're going to jump off. So just, be yourself too and be genuine. And when you close it, give them an action item. Like tell them, tune in tomorrow because I'm going to be talking about meal prep, or, make sure you email me at blah, blah, blah. If you want a list of the exercises I showed you today, give them an action item. You can follow me on Facebook and give them your Facebook link. So always kind of leave it with a call to action. That's what we call it. Basically, you're telling them what to do next. And really, we should be doing that in all communication, email, messages, stuff like that.
Yeah. So if somebody saw you on Periscope and they were like, oh, I want to get in touch with this person, she can help me with my fitness goals. How do they reach you? Just by you listing your email or your contact, or is there somehow?
Yeah. Put your contact information in your profile that you set up.
Okay.
So somebody can always get a hold of you.
Okay.
Hey, Angie.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the comments, Amanda says, I listen to Shalene's podcast every day, and she always talks about Periscope. I'd love to know how to get started. Wow, you're really down in that glass.
Hey, you already answered for me. Thanks.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions on that?
Honestly, like, don't you think it's just like getting started and doing it, like facing the fear of biting the bullet?
Oh my gosh. Dude, my first Periscope, as soon as I hit broadcast, I couldn't remember my freaking name. I was like, hi.
Well, that's what I thought. If I were going to do something, honestly, would probably be like 5 minutes just to kind of I don't know, get kind of over the fear of doing it live and just do a quick little spiel and bounce, you know, until.
But the reality is, you guys, people are interested in you, and they want to see this stuff. Like, I did a Periscope on Thanksgiving where my niece was blaring Justin Bieber. My mom was like stirring mashed potatoes, dancing around. It was like so stupid. And I've never had so many hearts and comments. Like, they want to see you mowing your grass, and they want to see you, like, people just want to watch you. Don't think that they don't, because they do. Even if you're like, oh, I don't have anything to offer, I don't even know. People are interested. Trust me.
Hey, I was going to say, Angie,
Hi, Colleen.
hey, I've done some Periscopes. I came back from Edge, like really pumped up about it. And I did a video with the basics from it. And Angie already mentioned some of them tonight, but I'll share it in the team page with you guys it's like 7 minutes, but it just kind of says some basics that I learned in my first few of them and for what we learned at Platinum Edge. But also, Shalene on the late night Periscope the other night, she said, basically for your first one, introduce yourself, kind of say a little bit about you, kind of your bio, just about you as a person, and then talk about like the kind of people that you like and the kind of people that you don't like, because it just puts it out there. It just kind of puts out you and helps people to realize, like, do I connect with this person or do I not? And not everybody's gonna, and so I just thought that was an interesting way to say it, because some people might not like you then, but that's okay. You don't want you don't want to appeal to everyone, because then you're not appealing really to anyone very deeply. So she kind of just said, for your first scope, just get on there, talk a little bit, have fun with it, and that's it. But I mean, from my experience doing it, I'm not experienced by any means, but you just got to do it. Like, I was like, how do I flip my phone around? Like, what do I do here? You still, when you turn it on, it's going to be not facing you. It can't be. I don't know if they'll fix that or change that or what, but so I tried to put a picture of my kid in it, because I was talking about him. It's part of my brand, and I was talking about autism. It's like sideways and all that stuff. So just practice.
Yeah, it's tough. And Facebook has one coming out now. Did you know that? It's called
the live video.
Facebook Live, yeah. So you can apply for it if you have a like page. But I think, they're testing it, so they're only opening it to so many people. I applied, and I got like big fat deny in like 30 seconds. They email me back, they're like, sorry, you're not popular enough. But I think because they're just testing it with people who have a huge amount of followers, and eventually they're going to release it to all of us. So you might as well get comfortable on Periscope now, because it's coming to Facebook too. Yeah, just do it. Honestly, the hardest part is trying to look like you're halfway decently ready. For me, anyway. What else? Any other questions? Anything else you want to know?
Hey, I want to know more about the makeup you were showing.
Kara. I can send you a list of everything that she sent me.
Okay.
I'm going to write it down so I don't forget. I mean, unless y'all want to know, I can post it in Team Dynamite. And a lot of that comes from, do you guys know Coach Glitter? Shalene's makeup artist, Tiffany, my master. Yeah. Good stuff. All right, what else? Andrea, Colleen, you guys want to chime in with anything?
No, I mean, I think that's good.
Colleen, good?
Good. I got my couple minutes in, so I'm good.
And no other questions, you guys? All right, we're good to go. Next, Colleen, are you next week?
Andrea is.
Oh, okay. Awesome. You have a topic yet, Andrea?
No. Is there any requests? If there's like requests for topics, I'm all about requests.
What about this, you guys? I don't know. As Angie was talking, I was putting my brainstorm in my phone of team call ideas, but Andrea and I both are social workers formerly. And I was thinking, as Angie said, people might start sharing their problems with you. And we often want to care about what's going on in our audience, our clients, our, world. So does anybody ever get to the point where people are sharing things with you and it's like a lot and you feel like emotionally drained by what you're hearing from people? Is that ever a struggle where you're just like, gosh, there's so much going on in my coaches or my clients' lives that it's like too much? Does anybody feel like that or no? Life of a teacher.
Danny, yeah.
Trained by it, but sometimes people that don't have a lot of training in helping professions, or even when you do, it can be draining and you almost feel like burnout because you're caring so much about other people. So I wondered if it might be helpful sometime. I was like, oh, I could do a call on that. Like, how do I maintain myself when I'm trying to care so much about other people and help them with stuff? But maybe that's not like an issue for people. I don't know.
Well, I think that is a good idea because, let's face it, we're all going through stuff personally. And then to go through our own stuff and try to help other people and keep being supportive and positive, it is emotionally draining.
Yeah, I'll agree. And I'll tell you this, I think I read in John C. Maxwell that when you're a leader, and the more you guys grow your team, the more people you're going to have on your team, the more challengers you're going to have. As a leader, one of the best skills that you can have is being a problem solver. And so, when you're got so many people that you truly care about and they're on your team, but they're going through life because life will give you ups and downs. And when they're in the downs, you at least I know I talk to a lot of people who are just struggling and everything. And just kind of like, how do you keep your cup filled and still help people kind of get through their stuff and get out on the right side of things, all while you're keeping your cup filled. So I like it, Colleen. I think it's a good idea.
I agree.
Yeah. And so something like that.
Or we could wait and do that like in the new year if something else is more pressing, like let's get this information right now. Totally.
Okay. Well, I'm open. So if anybody has ideas on any of the teams, let us know. Like if it's something like that, maybe more of like goal setting for 2016. Like how do you look at the year and break it down and kind of set your goals and reverse engineer? I think that's always fun and just kind of taking the time to do that. Whatever. I'm open to anything. Okay, wait, we have one more question, Angie. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've talked to Amanda about this before, so you guys can chime in on what you think.
Okay, so Amanda wants to know, I have many challengers who require my attention constantly. How do you set your boundaries with them without sounding bitchy? First and foremost, stop giving out your cell phone. Do you do that? You can unmute yourself. You don't? Okay. Unmute yourself, Amanda, if you can.
Okay. No, I don't give out my cell phone number, but I get Facebook messages at 3:30 in the morning that come through my phone. And so I did talk to that girl about it and her times that she needs to kind of contact me by. But I mean, it's constant. I have challengers that message me every night at 8:30, 9 o'clock, just wanting to chit chat and talk about life. But I'm so busy. Like right now I'm on team calls. I have team calls 2-3 days a week. What do you do? I don't want to sound like I'm not there for him, but I can't really be a friend. You know what I mean?
Honestly, okay, so first of all, turn off your notification settings, at least at night. So because you can't let your business control your life or interfere with your priorities. So I used to be the kind of person, like every time I would get a text, every time I'd get a message pop up, I was like constantly, it's consuming you. And so now I put my do not disturb, and then I just put my emergency numbers in. Like if my mom needs to get a hold of me or my sister needs to get a hold of me, I will allow those numbers to come through at any time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So
other than that, turn your phone off if it's waking you up, or if even if you're, laying in bed watching TV or whatever, and you're done working and that notification comes off and you're going to see it and you're going to be like, ugh, it's going to mentally frustrate you. So just turn it off so you don't have to worry about it. You can set work hours. So you could when you bring a new challenger on board, you could say, just so I work during the day and then I have team calls and blah, blah, blah at night. So typically the only time I'm online to answer questions is between 5 and 7 p.m. or whatever.
Okay.
And then, do they get mad at you if you don't respond right away?
No, but I'm just like what you said. I get back on and I respond right away. But I do have one lady who has some kind of weird connection with me, and she I don't think she has many people in her life that are there for her, and so she has this connection with me, and so she wants to talk to me every night for a couple hours on Facebook Messenger, and I'm like, lady, I can't.
Right.
But I don't want to be rude because I still, care about her and her fitness goals. So yeah,
I wouldn't
just talk to me a little bit about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're in control. You're in control of your schedule and your time. So you need to set those boundaries with yourself. Don't let the phone get the best of you. And because I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm like, you're laying in bed or you're watching TV and you're like, ugh, I just got another message. And then you feel like you have to respond. Well, you're in control, so don't respond. The other suggestion I would make is if it's somebody who's really looking for that connection to you or wants to be a part of something, I would invite them to join your team. And hopefully that won't bite you in the butt in the long run. But it actually may, not knowing these people you're talking to, but it might benefit them because you're now connecting them with a team. So if you have your Facebook group with your team, that's how many other people that they might be able to connect with too.
True. Okay.
So I hope that helps. Good luck. You just have to create the new habit.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Stephanie posted in the chat, what's an appropriate turnaround time to get back to customers who do contact you in those off times? When you're not working.
Well, I personally prioritize my messages. So I go through them every day, go through my responses. So if I send a message and then usually when I'm sleeping or when I'm done working, people reply. And then the next morning I get up and when I get to my work time, I look to see who's replied and I kind of prioritize there. So, if it's something pressing, if it's like a sale that, you're waiting to close or somebody who's ready to sign up or anything like that, you would want to prioritize that. But now, I don't know if you guys saw, if you work off of a like page, I've been so anti-like pages. And now yesterday they came out with a way to categorize and flag your messages, which is so awesome. I wish you could do that on your personal page. I guess I'd say within 24 hours. This business is great because we can work on it when we want, as much as we want or as little as we want. But also, we have to be sensitive. The people that we're working with, majority of the population work during the day, so they're only online at night or on the weekends. And that's typically when we want to take off. So I would just say, balance it out as much as you can. Anything else?
Angie, what's that really quick about flagging things on your like page messages there? So that's just messages to your like page?
I just noticed it yesterday. So when you go on your messages on your like page, there's a little box that says flag and you can click it and it flags that message, which means this person they're talking to is high priority. So it stands out in your message box basically. So, I don't know about you guys, but I have hundreds of ongoing messages in my message boxes and I can't keep track of them. So this is just a way to do that. It's awesome. Look at it. And you can. All right. Anything else?
I'll just mention really quick on my personal page, which is where I do more of my messaging with people. I, on my phone, can mark things as unread. Sometimes I'll read it, but I can't respond right then. And so I change it back to mark as unread. So I know it's somebody that I need to get back to. You can't do it on your computer, or I can at least, but on my phone I can. So I definitely do that if I know it's somebody that I need to go back to. And then it's at least, bolded in black rather than just a regular red message.
Yeah, that's a good idea because, I try to write their name down on a list, but we know.
If you're on the go or you're not right at your list, then it's a good way to at least try to keep it, noticeable.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Good to know. Okay. All right, anything else you guys before we wrap up? Okay, thanks for being on, you guys. I'll share this recording as soon as I can on the team page, and then you can share it with your teams too.
Okay.
Night.